Hey, hey, how are you? Welcome. I hope you're doing great tonight. Look at this. I don't know what this is called. It's like a bread tray or something like that. It's decorative, okay? But I've had this thing for a hot minute and I didn't know what I was going to do with it, but I knew I loved it when I bought it. I think I got it at Target. In the Target spot or whatever, where you buy the discount stuff, you know? All right, so I have this and we're gonna play with this pumpkin patch kit, okay? So it comes with 3 strips of fabric. It does have instructions. Okay, this is an ink project. So here's the instructions right here, okay? Read those, but you can also just follow along with me, okay? Use this video as your tutorial. Okay, so this is an ink mat. It does recommend that you use an ink mat. And you know I love an ink mat. So this one's brand new. That's very exciting for me. All right, so here we go. We're gonna take our first strip of fabric and we're gonna set it down on our ink mat. And I'm not gonna stretch it. This thing is extremely sticky. Hi, Lisa. So I just want to not have any creases. It's very sticky, so I'm like putting it down a little at a time, okay? Here we go. There. I didn't stretch it over this, but I did get most of the wrinkles out. There's one right here, but whatever, it's fine. It's fine. All right. I do have my handy dandy parchment that I used the other night. I just stuck it back in there. So we do have that available for us in just a few. Now, this kit comes with a D size. Y'all, look at these prints. Okay? Really excited about this part. So, I'm not going to fuzz this or anything. I'm just going to put it right down on here. And hopefully I don't have a problem whenever it sticks to the ink mat like that, okay? So keep that in mind. Now, I do have an ink mat this same size, the 11 by whatever. I think it's by 23. It's kind of a strange measurement that I cut in half and I use it for t-shirts because this one's really long, but the one that I cut in half is not long enough for all of these fabric pieces. So whenever you comment pumpkin, you will get the link. Let me type that here actually real quick. You'll get the link not only for this ink mat, but also for this kit. Okay? There. Now, you know that the keyword is pumpkin. So this comes with, let me show you. It comes with 4 ink packets. Okay, I'm too close. And it also comes with 2 color trays and a mini squeegee, okay, in orange peel and papaya, which are both orange colors, okay? So I'm gonna save those and I'm gonna use my ink because why not, right? Okay, here we go. Now, I'm gonna try my best not to make a mess tonight, but who knows what's gonna happen here. Let me go ahead and get a baby wipe so that I can be prepared because every time I mess with ink, I've got it on me, okay? On my hands at least. So I've got this all stuck down really nice and good. I have my heat press over here heating up and we're gonna start with orange peel, okay? I'm gonna just grab a little bit out of here. And remember, with ink, you do not need a rush, okay? There is plenty of time. It's not going to dry on you, okay? So just take your time and you can go slow, okay? A little at a time. And cover this entire piece of fabric. All right. Oh, probably too much ink, but I'm just going to, now, I think this transfer is going to be big enough that we can use it more than once. And that, my friends, is exciting for me. because there's a whole like 3/4 of a D size, which is 18 by 18. It's a huge transfer. I did cut it apart on just the transfer part, okay? Let me make sure that I did, okay. I wasn't sure if I set up my keyboard or not. I'm a little bit going crazy today, y'all. I had another long day. I did have a nap though, so that was nice. And my loving boyfriend, Mr. Christopher, is still not home from work. He texted me at like 4 o'clock and said that he was in Beaumont, which is at least a couple of hours away. I don't know precisely, but it's far. It's basically the Louisiana border. Wait, Beaumont? Yeah, the Louisiana border, I think. Yeah. And that he still had 3 hours of work left, and then he would be headed home. So my poor little sweet guy, I feel awful for him that he had to work so late on a Friday, but you know, he gets paid overtime, so it's fine for him. And he's off tomorrow, so plus he took the day off yesterday because he wasn't feeling well, and it's almost like he's being punished for that, so I feel kind of bad for him there too, but that's okay. He'll survive this. All right. Okay, now we are pretty good and covered here. Trying to see, I see one spot up here that's not quite good. Now, do you see what I see with both of these prints? Because this transfer is totally usable in so many ways. All right, so expect to keep seeing it as long as this kit is available. I'm gonna be using the heck out of this thing. In fact, whenever I first got it, it's so big that it didn't come inside of the kit like it normally does whenever you get a chalk made kit. And I'm like, what is this huge transfer? I don't recognize that. But I mean, look how much is left, okay? I'm loving it. All right, now for the tricky part. Ugh. Picking this up off the ink mat without getting ink everywhere, okay? So I'm just grabbing an end and I'm going to pull that off just like so. And I think I'm gonna go ahead and heat set this bad boy right here and right now. I should have done this before, obviously. Okay, so you can comment the word pumpkin. Make sure you say hey whenever you jump on, okay? Don't leave me out here alone, hanging. All right, now, that looks so cool. I love it. This print is beautiful. Okay, I have my hands cleaned up. I'm gonna take my little heat mat thing and I'm gonna stick it under here. I'm gonna have to do this in pieces because it's too wide, it's too long for the entire ink, I mean the whole heat pad thing, okay? Now, this is not gonna dry it, okay? It's not gonna be dry, but I don't want it to be a ton of really, really thick, wet ink whenever I go to heat set this. And I really, honestly, I don't even know if this makes a difference. It's not gonna dry it. It's still gonna be wet ink whenever I'm done. But it makes me feel like I'm doing something, you know? All right, so another piece of parchment. And I'm just gonna lay that right over top. I'm not gonna move it around. I'm gonna press it right down, okay? And get my heat press, and I'm doing 300 for 30 seconds. Now, you do not have to have a heat press for this, okay? You can totally use an iron. So what you'll want to do is you'll want to take these and lay them flat to dry. And then, hi Alma, I don't know why I'm seeing you here but not there. I don't know what's going on. Let me see if I can reload this bad boy. Anyway, oh my gosh, I see a bunch of comments now. Okay, hi Stephanie, hey Denise, hi Mom, hey Sandra. I did have a great day, thank you Lisa. Hi Paula, welcome, hi Patsy, and hi Alma. I'm doing great. My poor Christopher is not home yet though. So if you do not have a heat press, do not despair, okay? Don't go out and buy one for this, okay? Now, if you want one anyways, go ahead and buy one. I love mine, okay? But you can absolutely heat set by just setting this aside. Lay it flat to dry somewhere that it's not going to get messed with. And then the next day, come back and get a piece of parchment just like this and put it on an ironing board, okay, in between a piece of parchment. Iron it on medium-high heat for about 4 minutes, okay? And that, my friends, should heat set it. This is good to go. And my ink was not too thick, so that's great. Now, that is good and heat set, okay? It's perfect. Now, set that to the side. And then we're gonna begin again. We've got 3 of these to do, okay? So, the other thing that I want to do is, as you can see, there's a little bit of wet ink on here. I'm going to just take, now I'm not cleaning this entire thing, okay, but, well, I maybe need to probably, but. So normally I just let ink dry on my ink mat, okay, and then by the next day it's dry, but I'm just going to kind of lightly wipe, okay? I don't want to wipe too hard with this baby wipe because I don't want to mess up the stick, okay? But that was a lot of orange ink on there, and I'm just not trying to spread ink all over the place, okay? Now, I'm taking the microfiber side of my buzzing cloth, and I'm just going to dry this, okay? Now that was just like a very high level clean. That was not actually getting this thing clean. It's just good enough to move on, okay? Now, my stick is here. It is sticky. This thing is brand new. But even if it wasn't, after cleaning it and wiping it down with a microfiber towel, and once it's dry, your stick will come right back, okay? Especially, like, if you soak this thing with water, while it's wet, it's going to feel like it's not sticky, and you're going to have a little panic, okay? I know because I've done it, and I freaked out. Like, oh my gosh, I've destroyed this ink mat. And then, once I dried it, I'm like, okay, gotta go through with the whole process here. I dried it, and what do you know, it was fine once it was dry. So, same with those transfers too. They're the exact same way. All right. You can, whenever you wash them, sometimes they feel like their stick is completely gone, and it is like a little heart flutter that I get because it's scary. Now, again, I'm going to try and lay this flat and not have any wrinkles in the fabric. I don't want to stretch it because I don't want the pattern to be wonky. Okay, I am going to use both of these pieces because this one's really small. So, let me turn this thing. I've got so much stuff on this desk. I'm like making myself crazy with it. That is just perfect. Okay, I have it overlapping just the tiniest bit, but that's okay. And this way, I'm probably not going to be able to do this one time, but it'll just make it easier. Now, I'm going to go and I'm going to stick all of this down, make sure that there's no bubbles, all the way down to the ink mat, okay, so that I have it entirely stuck, okay? Remember, you get 2 colors of ink with this project. So, we're going to use both of them. And it looks like we will have to clean this transfer one time. So that's okay. We can do that together. Let me turn this thing around so I can reach it. Okay. It's really not ideal to have two sticky surfaces contacting each other, but that's okay. We're going to push this down really well, okay? And make sure there's no bubbles or anything funky going on here. There's a little string right here, but that'll be fine. Let's see if I can. All right, now I think we're good to go, okay? So this one's like dots. It looks almost like writing from far away. This is gonna be super cute. I wanna put this on my dining room table. And what I'm thinking I wanna do is a hot mess technique, okay? So I'm gonna start on this little piece up here, and I'm thinking about maybe just pulling it up and setting it back down and not cleaning it in between. What do y'all think? I think I can do that. Okay, so I'm gonna just use I have a piece of hair right here that's not gonna be good whenever it gets ink on it and then it ends up on my shirt or something. So I'm just gonna take a little bit of ink on my squeegee. Just like that. And you could obviously use other colors too. This would be really pretty with a little bit of copper mixed in with a hot mess with copper. Oh my gosh. Now I'm just dotting this around. I'm gonna probably use a little bit more ink than what I would have if I had just done a regular ink across the thing, but it's gonna look really pretty, so it'll be worth it, right? So let me grab one more squeegee. Okay, I have this one. This is a mini squeegee that those are chewed up, and so I saved it by cutting it in half, and now it's like a longer mini squeegee, so that works. And I'm just going to try to make sure that I go all the way to the edge here, okay? Now up here at near me right here, I lined it right up with the edge of this transfer. So, and I'm actually not using that much ink at all. I might need more, it looks like. I might be able to spread what I have on here. But I'm going right up to the edge here, so make sure that you line that up, especially if you're going to use this entire ink mat, like this whole length of ink mat. Make sure that you don't go over the edge and get this on your table, your desk, or whatever you're doing, you know, wherever you're crafting at. Don't make a mess on your surface, okay? Protect it. That's what the ink mat's for. So please use it for that intended purpose, because I really don't want you to text me and tell me that, oops, I got ink on my table, how do I get it off? Because, I don't know. I'm not sure. Okay. But wet ink, you probably, I would assume that you could just clean it off with some cleaner, or even a baby wipe or a Lysol wipe or something. But I don't know that to be fact, okay? So don't try it. Okay. There we go. We are nearly there. Here we go. All right, and then I've got like just the smallest amount over here. I don't want to add more ink here. Come on, ink. Don't fail me now. So I guess I didn't use that much. That's nice to know that I have little waste here. Just none at all, hardly. Okay, so that's probably good. The edges are gonna be covered a little bit anyway, so let me see what I need to do here. Look, I have this little tray here. All right, I got a lot going on over at this desk. All right, now I am gonna pick this up and I'm just gonna try and move it down a little bit so that I don't have to clean it. Okay, now it's not gonna be a big deal if I get a little bit of ink on this thing because I'm about to ink it anyways. So I'm just going to lay that just like that, and then I'm going to pull it down a little bit. Perfect. Oops, not quite perfect actually. Darn it. Okay. Who knew this was going to be a struggle bus for me tonight? Okay, here we go. Sort of. Final try, and I think I got it. So I'll just take that and lay it down for now, and then I have the squeegee right here. I'm gonna just take that and push it down with the side of the squeegee. Okay, just like that. This one's super sticky still, so no big deal. And there's quite a bit of sticky on this one, so you shouldn't have any issues. All right, so the keyword is pumpkin tonight. If you are just joining me, I would love for you to comment the word pumpkin. You'll get the link. And I think we're gonna try, hold on, I've got copper right here. You know, I have it like always on hand, right? In arm's reach. So this is shimmer copper ink. Oh, crud. Well, let me see if I have a not new one. I mean, I love a good new ink, but I feel like I probably have a used one, but that's okay. Oh wait, look at that. If this other one's brand new too, I don't know what I'm doing with my life, okay? Honestly. These little stuffed pumpkins, we'll get there in just a minute, eventually. Hi Gwen, how are you? Hi Carl. Okay, so, ooh, that is satisfying. That is shimmer copper ink. And I'm gonna take some of this stuff and generously put it around. Now, again, this comes with 2 ink packets of each, orange and papaya ink, but you can sub whatever you like. And then of course, you know we're gonna use this transfer again and again because it is a great pattern, okay? So, I mean, if nothing else, you'll have a super cute little fall decor item for your table. And there's more. You will also have a great pattern to continue to use whether it's fall or not. 2 great patterns actually. One is those leaves and the other one is these dots. I just love this. I really need them to leave these dots as a full-time. Give me this pattern. Okay. And then I still have my papaya out too. So I'm gonna just dot a little bit of that. And I feel like this time I am gonna have way too much ink, but who cares, right? It'll be fine, it's worth it. All right, so now I have my little modified squeegee and, oh, you know what I just realized? This part up here, I did not put any ink on it because I was thinking it was already done, but it's not. So let me just I'm telling you guys, I am like totally, completely out of it. My brain just feels fried from the week. I'm telling you, I need a reset this weekend. My house needs a reset. I desperately need to do laundry. I have not washed my our clothes in a week or more, 2 weeks, because I was out of town and then I got back and I've got tons of excuses, and none of them are good. None of them are like, yeah, that's a great excuse to not be doing the stuff around your house. There's no excuse. So these are just little pieces of fabric. Give me 1 second and I will show you. This is ink. I am using an ink mat, the 11, I think it's 11 by 23 ink mat, okay? And we're doing hot mess on it. That is good. Now, pull that ink all the way down here to the end. And then we're gonna go over, and with hot mess, it really doesn't matter, okay? If all of it mixes together, that's even better. You just want like, whatever colors you put down, they will all mix and blend and look really good together. Now, you can use different colors. This one probably would have been cool with a little touch of like pesto, that green. It's kind of a green, like a really green. I think of it like a baby food green, baby poop green. But it is a great color for fall. And it would have looked awesome mixed in with this hot mess, okay? So I'm just looking to see if I missed any spots. And I think we're pretty good. Okay, so now I've got a ton of extra ink on here this time. Like a bunch. So I'm gonna just scrape that off of here because I don't need to leave that all on my transfer. I'm just gonna have to wash it. And I'm gonna have ink all over my hands whenever I'm washing it in a little bit. So I did have a lot left over, but I'm just gonna stick that right into my cup over here. I'm not gonna worry about it. It's mixed up colors. So I can't put it back in the jars, okay? But I am going to wipe off my other squeegees and I'll put them in there too, and then I can close these up and be done with this. And make sure that you continuously check your hands for ink, because you know, you could have just a little bit of stray ink and get it on your shirt. Okay, so now for the reveal. All right, let's pull this thing off of here. And man, this ink mat was definitely recommend using an ink mat for this project, okay? Because these strips are so small, there's really nowhere for you to grab onto them. I'm gonna just chuck this over here. I do use, let me show you, this dish mat, okay? For my dirty transfers and stuff, I take the whole thing into the kitchen. Hi Marie, how are you? That's okay, we're here. Just plugging away. And this looks great. I'm loving that addition of the copper on that second one. Okay, so now I'm just gonna grab a corner here and I'm gonna pull this off, and we'll do one of these at a time, okay? So let me just see if I can set that right there on the floor. It's fine, it's not gonna go anywhere. And I'm gonna put my parchment underneath. Should have done that first, but I didn't think about it, so you can think about it whenever you do it, okay? Parchment on top. Now you can do a little drying exercise if you want. I don't know if it actually helps. Like I said, maybe it does, maybe it doesn't, who knows? Comment the word pumpkin to get this cute little kit, okay? And this is going to be super cute. So I'm just going to, I think I'm gonna have to do this one twice as well. So 300 degrees for 30 seconds, or let it dry overnight and then a medium-high iron on for 4 minutes with parchment on top, okay? But if you use an iron, you do have to let it dry overnight, okay? So keep that in mind for your project. You can't do projects on the go like that, okay? But I do love this heat press, and you can get one that I do have the Cricut, but you don't have to have the Cricut to do this. You can get any heat press that you like. And Amazon has tons and tons of different cheaper versions that are, I'm sure, just as good. I think this is the 9x9 one, and I like it a lot. Okay, so another 30 seconds to get the other half of this thing, and then we will take that other piece and we will get that one too. Now that one's gonna be too long, just like the other one was, and we're gonna have to do it in 2 pieces as well. Y'all, it's hot in here. Okay, well, that's cooling. Give me a second. Let me just, I love that I didn't cut my hair too short to still be able to tie it like this, because it drives me crazy whenever it gets hot and I just need it up and out of the way. Okay, so that is heat set. Okay, and that print is so cute. I really like it because you can't mess it up, okay? If it bleeds a little bit, you can't tell because it looks like that. That's just the way it looks. Now again, grabbing the edge over here, and I'm gonna try to not make a big fat mess with ink all over myself or this project, okay? So this is a big old long piece. I'm gonna grab my ink mat and just pull that off and hope for the best, okay? It'll be fine. And throw that on the ground, not even to worry about it. Now, keep an eye out if you've got dogs and stuff running around in your room while you're working. Don't throw that on the ground because it does have wet ink on it right now. But Dozer is locked out there. Thank you all for the suggestion for the baby gate. It's saved my bacon multiple times now whenever he tries to come in here and knock over my camera, get behind me, knock stuff over. There's boxes all over this room. He finds random embellishments and takes off with them and decides he's gonna try and eat them or do who knows what with them. So that saved me. Okay, so it looks like we're probably gonna do this in at least 2 parts, probably 3. Hi Lori, happy Friday, my friend. Thanks for joining me. Really appreciate you. And all of you other lovelies, I appreciate you all for coming on here. Keyword tonight is pumpkin, even if you're not watching the live, which you'll see the little red live up here if I am live. If not, that's totally fine too. Hi, welcome. You can still comment pumpkin and that keyword will work for you, okay? And I think once you see this project finished, I know it's taken me a minute to get there, but we're gonna make it there. And I think you're gonna love this one, okay? It's a great fall project. And it's perfect for your fall table. And I mean, honestly, you can leave it out like for the duration, okay? Mine will probably, my fall decorations are probably gonna start, yes, it's fabric, look. So this is the chalk made kit, the little pumpkins, okay? We already inked 2 of them and we're doing the final one now. I am gonna have to do it a 3rd time. So this one's gonna be interesting. Hopefully I don't make a disaster out of it. Okay, I had to read the instructions about 4 times because I did not understand what exactly I was reading. Because it's hard for me. I need pictures, okay? A lot of the time. I just need you to draw me a picture. And I can put together any furniture. I can go any place in a vehicle. I need a map. I can't just have you say like, oh, go north on whatever and get me there. Okay, my dad is consistently giving me instructions that way, and I'm like, Dad, no, this is not. Give me the address. Your directions mean nothing to me. You telling me north is like speaking Japanese, okay? By the way, I am wearing shorts. It is very hot here. I know you may have caught a glimpse of my leg, just to let you know, I have shorts on. Okay, so this is the one that we use the copper on, and you can see it There, I like that a lot. Okay, this one is the orange one. And then papaya, okay? Or no, papaya and orange on this one, sorry. Okay, so now, and I just used ink jars, but you can use the little ink packets that come with it. It comes with 4 ink packets, y'all, okay? Oh, more than that. 3 of each, 6 ink packets in this sucker, okay? So you have tons and tons of ink to reuse on other projects. Heck, take them and put them right into your jars, okay? That's a great idea. So now, I don't know which one of these is going to be the most difficult one. I figure it's probably going to be the small one, so let's start there, okay? So this is what I gathered from the instructions. Now, you get these little 3M strips, okay? There's 3 sizes. You also get 6 of these little rubber bands, okay? So make sure whenever you start that whenever you're taking this all apart and you're throwing everything around, that you count up 6 of those rubber bands, or else you're gonna have to figure out something else for parts of this, okay? Now, I had all 6 of mine, but I had to find them because I had slung them all over the place. So don't do that whenever you open it. You also get the stuffing for these little pumpkins, okay? So if I can get this to come off of here, that'd be cool. Maybe I can, I don't know, maybe not. That's fine. Okay, here we go. I'm getting there. Some tweezers might help. Okay, so I peeled off one side. I'm just gonna take, and these are all sized correctly. I'm gonna take that and oh, you know what? I already done messed up. So I wanna do this on the inside. Yeah. I wanna do it on the inside because I want that, it's gonna be like a little pillow, okay? So now, we're gonna fold it together like a hamburger style, okay? Just like that. And before we do that, we're gonna take this sticky off of here. Take the little paper off of the stick, and hopefully it comes off easily. There we go, perfect. Now, just like a pillow, okay? Y'all remember like in home ec, making pillows and having to do them inside out? Well, I do vividly because whenever I learned how to use a sewing machine at school, I came home and I sewed every piece of fabric that we owned in the house, okay? Every stinking one. Any spare piece of fabric that was anywhere was sewed up into a pillow or something. Okay, so now I'm going to take this and I'm going to gather it on one of the, so that should be like a little whatever, okay? I'm going to gather it at this end, and I'm going to take my first rubber band and come around and around and around and around until it's tight, okay? There we go. Now, flip it inside out, and there is the little base for my pumpkin, okay? So let's do that again. Now, if you look on your, sorry, I know that's very bright. There's a seam on this side, okay? So we're gonna use that seam to put our little stickies, okay? So let's try to do this a little quicker this time, now that we sort of know what we're doing. And I mean, I use the term know what I'm doing loosely, okay? I see the roadmap now at least. But it was touch and go there for a minute. I mean, I'm telling you, I had to read the instructions about 100 times to figure out what it was trying to tell me to do, because I couldn't figure it out. So I'm glad that I read them first. And then I'm here to show you how to use this one, okay? Now, stick that end right there, just like we did, hamburger style, okay? And one more little rubber band, and we're gonna just tie up this end a couple times. till it's good and tight there, and flip it right side out. And these are going to be real cute. Okay, so there's our second one. So you have two little bowls, and for the third one, oh, here's my last little 3M piece of sticky stuff. Okay, get that off of there. There we go. Now, I'm going to trim this because it's just a little bit long, the sticky strip, and it's making it more difficult for me to get that off of there. So okay, I peeled the paper at first. Okay, so just remember, ink side in, okay, just like a pillow, before you stuff it, and just like that, okay? Now, hamburger style, and one more go. And do one more time. Okay, so then we have 3 little bowls. That need stuffing. So let's begin again at the little one. Get rid of some of my trash here. You have 3 little things of stuffing, okay? Let's use them. Start with this little one. That is a lot of stuffing, so we're gonna get it all in there. And then we're going to gather up the top. Now, I told you a minute ago, I need you to make sure that you have 6 rubber bands, because you're going to gather up the opening and rubber band it. Now, meanwhile, I'm going to heat up my glue gun because I have a little something extra I want to add to these, and I think you're going to like it. So again, you can comment the word pumpkin to get all the stuff to make this. You will get a link. You will also get a link to other stuff, to follow my, to get live notifications, to get into my VIP group if you're not there yet, and there's a whole, I did not do a good enough job here, so let me try that again, sorry. Make sure that you push it down and that you have plenty of fabric, okay, to gather together here. And I even kind of trying to twist it a little bit. One last time. Okay, so there's my first little pumpkin. Now, I know it doesn't look very much like a pumpkin yet, but it will. Okay, the medium-sized bag. Now, again, this is a ton of stuffing, so let's make sure we use it all to get a good, nice, plump, thick pumpkin. And I say thick with T-H-I-C-C, like thick. Anyways, so yeah, whenever you comment pumpkin, you'll get the link to all the stuff, okay? And of course, you will also get my shirt shop link. Y'all, you have to see it. If you haven't gone and looked at it yet, I added a bunch, some really cute sweatshirts, some other things. So go check it out. Show me some support if you can. If not, that's fine too. No biggie. And most importantly, you gotta grab this pumpkin project before it's gone because it's super cute. And once people start realizing how cute it is, it's gonna be out of there. I'm really surprised that it's lasted this long because it is super cute. Uh-oh. Oh, I'm good. I thought I was missing a rubber band, but I have 2 left, so I'm fine. Okay, now, again, I need to like gather some at the with my hand and also have it be tight enough to where it's, whenever I go around with the little hair tie thing, it's not leaving a hole there, so I'm trying. Okay. Isn't it cute? Thank you, Edna. I appreciate it. You can comment the word pumpkin to get this yourself, okay? Glad that you like this. There's my second, that's my medium-sized pumpkin. It's a little bit wonky, but we can straighten that out in just a minute. Now, last bag of fuzz, or of stuffing. And take that whole bag and get it in there, okay? And then aren't they? They're gonna be real cute on this little tray that I have right here, I think. Real excited about that. Okay, now we're gonna go just like that, all the way around. And that's good. Okay, my third little pumpkin. Now, it also comes with some jute for you. Not 100% on how this is gonna work, but we're gonna try. Okay, here's what I'm thinking, is that we go up the middle. Okay, I laid it about in the middle of this pumpkin, okay? And then I'm gonna go around one way with one and the other way with the other one. Okay, and I'm, oops, shoot. Okay, and then back down the middle. Okay, and then basically I'm just making rounds. Now we can kind of pull those strings together. Go around the top and then back around, and let's see if we have enough left to tie it with. Okay. Okay, so there's my first little pumpkin, and I'm just gonna tuck that little tail right in in there. Now, that's my first try, okay? I think it's pretty cute. It's a little bit like, I don't know, not like, it doesn't necessarily look like a pumpkin. It's kind of like what, you know, maybe, I don't know, in a cartoon what a pumpkin might look like. I don't know, but it's a little whimsical and I'm digging it, okay? Now I'm doing the same thing here. I'm gonna come around, start in the middle and go around. Okay, and this time I think we're gonna wrap it and try, oops, to do a little bow maybe. Okay, here we go. Now, there's my little second one, and that one is pretty cute, if I do say so myself. So let's find the center. Put that there. Now that we are professional pumpkin wrappers, okay? I don't know what the technical term is for what we're doing here, but we are all professionals. Everybody that's watching this video, okay? Third time's a charm. All right. There we go. That knot nice and tight. And struggling here. Okay, there. Getting my fingers to work. All right. Now I'm gonna try a little bow. I don't know if my tail is gonna be long enough, but I can definitely, I have some more jute over here, so I can just tie this knot off and trim that down a little. Okay, so I have that, and then just need a little bit of jute here. I could have probably gone with a thinner one. But you know what? I think I will go with the thinner one because that one's too much for me. Now, I've got a rat's nest of jute down here in this drawer. This is fun. It's a good time. When I can find the end, I enjoy it. And then I just shove it back in there. Okay, so that's my trick for storing jute. I never actually untangle it. I just like grab a little bit at a time and go for it. Now, I did just notice that I've got a little bit of my opening of my pumpkin coming through, so I'm gonna just take some hot glue and stick it back in there. Okay, so now with my little piece of jute, I'm going to there. That stubborn piece will stay shoved in there now, hopefully. that underneath those little tails. Tie myself a nice little tight knot. And then a cute little bow on here. Okay. And then I can trim the excess. Okay. My bow was kind of wonky here for a second, and I thought I just trimmed the wrong part. Okay, so there's my next one. And remember this first one, I didn't have a clue what I was doing whenever I started on it, but I did remember that I have this little bow that I tied the other night that I didn't end up using. So I figure I can just make use of it now with a little bit of hot glue and trim those tails. And then looky there, we have a super cute little centerpiece. And of course you can add a little greenery or whatever. I'm probably gonna pull some greenery to add. I wasn't sure how much space I would have, but look how cute. That is adorable. So I did not know what I was gonna do with this little thing, but I think they turned out pretty super cute. So make sure that you grab yours before they're long gone, okay? And hopefully we can start cooling off here pretty soon, okay? And in August, we're gonna be full swing fall, full speed ahead. So make sure that you hang out with me tomorrow night. I don't know exactly what I'm making yet, but I'm certain that it's gonna be really fun, okay? There's tons and tons of new stuff out there to play with, so come hang out with me. Comment the word pumpkin to get this project for yourself, okay? All right, y'all. See you tomorrow.